Hi, and welcome to Create, Automate, and Scale podcast. Tune in to this inspirational, straight to the point, relatable content for entrepreneurs to help you mastermind the everyday hassle, give you business tips, networking opportunities, shameless money talks, and scaling secrets. Created to support you, to support coaches and course creators just like you, to help you take action, stop trading dollars for hours, and explode your business. It's time to hit that six-figure and beyond. Let's go!
Hey, so happy you're here. Hi, I'm Sophie Riley, and I'm your host. Today, I bring you a very special interview with the one and only Hayley Janzen, and we are going to talk all things niche content idea. I am so excited to hear what she has to say. Let's jump right in.
Hayley has been serving female entrepreneur for over 7 years in the digital marketing space, where specialties are helping you, 1, attract your soulmate clients, and 2, create your dreamy digital product and offer. I want to say that I'm so excited that you're here because there's something really special in the online marketing. One of the hardest things to do for everybody is the niche. It's the market.
It's true. Right? Yes. And a lot of people get confused between like their ideal customer and their niche. Because if you Google like what are niches and maybe a list of 30 niche ideas comes up, it's never like, oh, moms that like to sew or something like that. That's your ideal customer and they're interested in your niche, but you're usually a part of like a product-based niche or a business niche. And then you dive even deeper into like micro niches, which is what we're going to talk about today. So I'm excited.
I'm so excited. Let's dive right in.
I wanted to cover niche content ideas with Sophie today. I want to show you guys how to brainstorm hundreds of content ideas for specifically, I love serving female entrepreneurs or fempreneurs, but in any niche. And so I'm really excited. This is like brand spanking new content. So I've been serving female entrepreneurs for over 7 years, doing all sorts of different kind of content. I know Sophie already wonderfully introduced me, but I wanted to kind of share. It's like 7 years working let's say in digital marketing. And then, but even more so, I've been on social media for 15 plus years. And I wanted to make that known here because some people have not been on social media that long and they get overwhelmed and they're like, why is it so easy for Hayley? Why is it so hard for me? And I just wanted to kind of put a disclaimer. It's like, I've been on here for a long time. So I've built a lot of habits, a lot of strategies and things over time. And so it might be a lot easier for me, but you will build those habits over time and it'll get easier for you as well. But thanks for the internet. I'm a full-time content coach, which is absolutely amazing. And I'll be your content coach for the next little bit here. But why do you even need niche content ideas in 2022? I'm going to quickly break that down. And this is why. So there are 9.1 million online retailers in the world right now. When you Google like how many online businesses are there, and 2.5 million of those are in the United States. All of this to say is that there's a lot of online businesses, but the important thing is to be niche or be hidden. And that's kind of the point of the story today. And Pat Flynn said, the riches are in the niches, but the fortune is in the follow-up. I want to focus on that first concept today, but as you grow your audience, the second part of this is really important for you. But if you're just starting to grow, really trying to niche down, get more specific, I'm going to focus on this first concept today. And so what does a broad niche look like versus a micro niche? And so a broad niche is something like hashtag digital marketing or hashtag e-commerce. And specifically here, I'm using hashtags because I think that's a really great way to show a niche. And so I would say for the last 7 years, I've been in digital marketing and that's really broad now. Like when I first started, I'd be like, oh, you're in digital marketing. Great. But now it's like, oh, what do you do in digital marketing? Like specifically, is it e-commerce? Is it email marketing? Even e-commerce is really broad. Is it online courses? Is it your podcast? Like you got to get more micro, more specific now than ever, and saying like, let's not be broad. We can use some broad hashtags, but let's try to avoid it. There's 22 million posts you can see made with the hashtag digital marketing. And there's only 100,000 to like 3 million posts with online courses or like digital nomad. And a digital nomad is someone who travels as they work. And so to show the difference, like a lot less people are posting to these smaller micro niches, which is good for you. It means that you're going to get seen. And so I wanted to kind of give a good way for you to determine if something is a broad niche or if something's a micro niche. And so how do you find micro niches? I wanted to say, like, go to Instagram. This is the easiest way I find micro niches. I look for hashtags in my niche that have between 50,000 to 3 million posts under, like, created with that hashtag. And all that means for anyone who's really, really new to social media or Instagram is that when someone uses the hashtag, let's say hashtag digital nomad, for example, each time someone uses that hashtag, it shows up on Instagram. And so when I go to search that hashtag, I'm going to see, oh, there's 50,000 people have used this hashtag. And so the less you want to kind of be in the range of 50,000 to 3 million. Anything less than 50,000 is probably too small, and anything above 3 million is probably too big. And for a micro niche specifically, note these hashtags should be what your soulmate customers, clients, and followers are searching for. That is really important in all of this. You don't want to use hashtags that you don't want to show up on, like hashtag love, hashtag manifest, hashtag joke. Like, those are from the beginning of Instagram. Like, it worked back then, but now since there's so many people using them, it doesn't work anymore. For me, I would say my niche is business, like an online business. That is the broad version of my niche. And if I got a little bit more micro, it would be a digital marketing, but that's still very broad. And then if I got even more micro, for me, it's content creation. I love helping female entrepreneurs with content creation and digital products, which again falls under digital marketing, e-commerce, but I look at digital products as I'm helping you with the content side of it. So if I was to micro niche myself, it would be content. So I'm going to walk you through this one more time with women in business. If that was like a really broad niche, and then mompreneur, still broad, and then women in tech and women who code. And so the top two are really, really broad. You can see that by the amount of hashtags there are connected to it or posts that are under that hashtag or have been tagged to that hashtag. If we look at women who code, if you were a web designer, you'd probably want to, and maybe you're teaching coding, I would use hashtag women who code. If that was your ideal customer, you're a web designer, something like that, that would be a really, really micro topic within that niche. And so I wanted to kind of give you guys an example because all of these are in the same area. You could be a woman in business, a woman in tech, a mompreneur, and a woman who code, but you can see how it gets more and more micro as we go along. And so that's how I found these micro niches. And you will have to do a little bit of research, but it's really easy on Instagram.
For this next segment, Hayley has created one of the best workbook to make sure that you can create hundreds of content idea for your niche. Be sure to check out the show notes and download yours right now.
Now that you have the technique of knowing what the range is for how many posts this hashtag should have. I did promise you're going to have hundreds of content ideas after this. So if you're ready, it's time to plan content that sells. This is what it looks like on page. After you flip through the cover photo, you get to this page. This is the content ideas brainstorm. And you can tell there's all these little bubbles with hashtags. And so these are your micro niche hashtags or micro topic hashtags. We're going to start off, you're going to, you have your broad niche that goes in the middle, and then you're going to split off into all your micro hashtags in the bubbles. And so for me, I would put digital marketing in the middle, because I think that's really easy for people to know what that is. And then I would branch out and be like content creation, content planning, Instagram for business, all these hashtags that I use that help attract soulmate clients into my world because it's what they're searching. That's the really important key. We don't want to use hashtags that they're not searching for. I'll try to give you guys an example. I could use the hashtag women in business. I probably have, just to let the algorithm know, like, hey, I want to target women in business, but I would be surprised if my soulmate clients were actually looking like hashtag women in business. I would just be surprised. It's not something, I'm a woman in business and I'm not following that hashtag and being like, oh, what's on the women in business page today? But anyways, we'll do that. And I'm going to give you guys an example. This is the second page. And so the types of questions you'll be answering are like the who, the what, the when, the where, and the why. And this is really important. This is how you come up with hundreds of content ideas, is literally like, how can you answer these questions in your content? With this strategy, we're going from answer the public. I know yours already had some questions in it, but I'm giving some examples, just showing you guys where the hashtag would go. But here's the example with the hashtag digital nomad. And so putting that in the middle, these are some of the questions. These are some of the questions when I put that. So the funny thing about hashtags is they're hashtags, but they're also keywords. You know what I mean? Like we were talking about SEO yesterday. When you search Google, like digital nomad, you're searching those key words. And so hashtags are just key words that you can kind of track and see how many people have used them. And so for this, you're entering those key words into answer the public, and it populates all these questions that now you can answer. And so with digital nomad, I took some of the questions. It's like, who is a digital nomad? And so you could tag some of your favorite, if you were in this niche, you could tag some of your favorite people who are digital nomads and really help other people who are interested in this topic have more people to follow. And by doing that, that's a joint venture. That's a collaboration. Like they're probably going to share your reel because they're in it, and then, or whatever piece of content you're doing. And then you're going to get more followers from that. So who is a digital nomad is like the first one under the who column. And then under the what column is, what is a digital nomad visa? Because a lot of people have that question. They're like, oh, what is that? And so these are all random questions that I took from Answer the Public. So we know they're highly searched. The next one is, when do I know I'm ready to be a digital nomad? And then where do I stay as a digital nomad? And why should I become a digital nomad? I think these are all really fun. Like already someone who's a digital nomad has 5 content ideas for this week. And all I did was just copy and paste the questions from Answer the Public into here. So
and I love this because one of these can be several posts. It can be a blog. It can be a podcast. It can be a YouTube. It can be a reel. I mean, you can interview someone on this. I mean, I can go on and on here. I get really excited. I don't know if you can tell.
I love it. I love it because people know that you're in your passion and in your vibe, your energy when you're like energetic and you're excited. So yeah, no, I feel the exact same way. I'm like almost too obsessed with this where like I could probably create like, oh, I don't have it by me, but like a physical document so that I never have to come up with content ideas ever again. Especially if you're so micro niche, it's like, it's going to be the same questions asked again and again. And then you can start repurposing your content and repurposing these content ideas. So anyways, the last thing, since you guys are super excited to have hundreds of content ideas, I wanted to give you guys a bonus tip. So I'll do a little drum roll. Drum roll, please. Follow your micro niche hashtags on Instagram to tell the algorithm what your niche is. And clicking on the hashtag, like you can follow hashtags the same way you follow someone's account on Instagram. And as you can see on the right side, based off who I'm following, Instagram knows that I want to see content ideas, content planning. And the cool thing is the algorithm is like, oh, okay, this is what you want, but I'm also going to help show you more in that niche as well, because that's just my space. And so I make sure my business account is only focused on my niche and nothing else. Like before I did this, it was like anime, coloring, like all these random things. And I was like, I'm not interested in any of these things. And of course, my personal account could be focused on other things, but having the algorithm know your niche, what you want to see and what you want other people to see is super important. But you'll also get more ideas for what to post because you'll be seeing other people in your niche, as long as you don't compare yourself, because comparison kills creativity and confidence. But this has really helped me. I absolutely love this hack. I love seeing my micro niche show up, and I love that I show up in my micro niche because the algorithm sees that I use these hashtags in my content. So that's the bonus tip.
I want to say thank you so much for being here, Hayley. You are absolutely amazing. If you loved what you're hearing here on this podcast, make sure to follow Create, Automate, and Scale on your favorite listening platform. Be sure to check the show notes for special gifts to help you create, automate, and scale. See you next week, same place, same time.